fam. This is one slightly more for the men, but also might give some insight to anxiously attached women who are frustrated with their partner because trying to get reassurance might not be aware that it's triggering for the dude when, or, you know, if you're in the same sex, whatever, triggering for the partner when the sharing of the emotions makes them feel emotions in their body, because misery loves empathy, right? Not misery loves company. Misery loves empathy. Okay. So really when we're like, oh, I'm struggling, we want the other person to go, yeah, I totally understand. In fact, blah, blah, blah. And you go, yeah, that's it. That's the emotion I'm feeling. You're doing it too. Ah, cool. Right. And then we can move into reassurance and solution focused. So this is therapy stuff as well as partner stuff. Okay. Now, being the space holding male is difficult because men have this like logical problem solving left brain, penchant, right? Where we want to solve problems and stuff. So we see someone in pain. We're like, hey, we'll just put bars on the windows. No problem. Right. But one thing that I learned from doing therapy is people aren't ever ready to move into solution focus, like putting the bars on the windows, until they've finished venting. So even when you think they're finished and they start repeating themselves, it's like, this hasn't quite clicked into place where that person feels empathized with and that they're understood. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, I need to show that I'm experiencing the emotion. Like, yeah, that is fucking scary. Yeah. And then they're like, yes, fear. Correct. That's what I'm feeling. Yep. Got it. Right. Now, the triggering is like, I need to feel fear in order to show empathy so that you feel fear. Yeah. You dig it, Andrew, right? And it's like, now we're both scared. Fuck. Oh shit. So what I want to offer today is some signposting. There's like 3 stages. Hopefully I'll remember to say them all and not get caught up in my own rant. But, while the person's sharing what they need reassurance for, especially as a man, our logical brain will be going into solutions, right? You might not even be able to say them. They might come at the end after you've done the other 2 things. You might go into solution focused if they consent to that. If they're like, yeah, got it, Aiden. That they are like, yeah, actually I do want to talk about solutions. Like I'm not just getting it off my chest. I do want to solve this problem. Then you get to use that left brain shit, right? But as your brain starts going into left brain solutions, what I think is really constructive and what works for me is to start going into reassuring stuff that is like, we don't have to change anything. Not like, once we get enough money, we can get out of this fucking predicament or whatever. That's like in the future and we're not sure if it's going to happen, right? But if you're like, hey, worst comes to worst, we just stay here, we keep doing the thing that we're doing, and, you know, better the devil you know, like, kind of eating shit, but, like, better the devil you know. We're surviving right now, it's actually fine. And what you might not have noticed then was my tone. I'm like, look, no, it's actually fine. It's all down. So from the anxious fear, I need reassurance, I don't know if we're going to make it, and it's like, even if nothing changes, it'll be fine. Finish the sentence. Down gives certainty and reassurance. Part 1. So as we're starting to think of instead of solutions, what's reassuring, you're also just letting them vent, right? Letting them get it off their chest, And if you need to show empathy by going into the state and like allowing yourself to feel things, tread carefully. If anyone's been watching that show Beef on Netflix with Ali Wong, she's like, I'm fucking miserable. And her husband goes, dude, sometimes I think about like, what it'd be like if we never met. And like, he's trying to empathize and go, yeah, my life sucks too. But like, he's like, yeah, my life sucks since I met you. And she's like, okay, not the empathy I was looking for. And so it was really good timing to be talking about this stuff. Cause like, you can fuck it up by empathizing too much, especially if you feel like they're attacking you and they're like, I just think, you're doing too much, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, totally, like, I think you're a fuckhead as well. Wrong answer. And like one of the hardest things for, I think, men to do is because we've got the pride and the problem solving and not liking to sit with emotions as much because we just haven't been trained by other women constantly. Like women have always sat in circles and gone, oh, what's this feeling? What do I do with it? What's the outfit? What's the dance that goes with this feeling? And then we just express it and play it out. And then that's anxiety. Da, da, da. Like, men don't do that. So we're like, oh, can we just solve the fucking problem so I don't have to feel this, right? That's what we do in circles, is talk about problem solving. Left brain. What was I getting at? Showing empathy. So if you have to go into the state to show empathy, keep the reassurance in mind. Because when they go, cool, I'm done now, like I've done venting, yeah, my parents are fucking blah, 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 and they just never, and they blah, blah, and you go, yeah, my parents are dickheads too, they've just fucking set in their ways, they've never used technology, wah, and then when they go, then you're like, cool, now I can go into reassurance mode. Not solution mode, but reassurance mode, like, hey man, like, love from afar, it's been working, that's what we'll keep doing, it's a fucking kick in the balls now and then, but like, let's not do it on work days where you have to concentrate on work, you know, too much stress for one day, and you know, them's the breaks. And if they go, yeah, cool, and then you're like, hey, like, can I offer like some suggestions for maybe we can make this better, and they go, and you're like, forget it, like, let's just stick with the reassurance mode, so rather than problem solving, because a lot of the time unsolicited advice or like reluctant consent advice in that example, like, hey, can I offer you a suggestion? And they're like, not really. It makes people feel like you think they're stupid. That's the main thing with unsolicited advice, is like, hey, let me tell you why I think your life's going wrong. And they're like, well, it's fucking my life. Like, how are you the expert on my situation? And, you know, someone like me talking about parenting and stuff, like Ange and Lola watching, be like, dude, you don't even have kids, shut the fuck up, right? Fair enough. Like, I'm just talking about the research, and it's like an objective left brain view of different styles of parenting, and I mean why people do have codependent, particularly women have really enmeshy codependent dynamics with their kids and stuff, and it's in a natural order of things to have that kind of dynamic where you want to protect them, and you know, oh, but you know, he's anxious, so I'm going to let him stay home. It's like, yeah, you need the dad going like, we can't let them stay home from school. They have to go to school. They have to develop a tolerance to life being kind of shit. They just have to, right? So, you know, we get this delicate balance, right? But the mother will enable the kid to stay home, and then the kid fucking misses a year of school, and then it's hard to go back next year. But it's a natural urge, right? So that, you know, the natural order of things sometimes doesn't sit with the research. The research is like, hey, women with mental health problems enable school refusal. Okay, but from the perspective of the mom who's like, oh, but my kid's got anxiety, they're not like, oh, hang on, my mental health is like affecting this kid's development. They're not thinking like that. So when I am talking about stuff that I have no business talking about, it's based on the research, right? It's not based on the experience. So I can't speak to the experience of parenting, but I can speak to the research of parenting. So I apologize if people are like, shut your fucking mouth, right? Reassurance. So the reassurance trap. It can be difficult to want to get triggered to show empathy as well. That's a real sticky one. And particularly men, as I was saying before, we don't like sitting with emotions. And the partner's like, but, you know, but. And like, until you go, yeah, okay, it's fucked. They won't let up. And it's not like on purpose, right? Because particularly like anxiously attached partners, they don't actually know what they want from the conversation. They're just like losing their mind on their own, and they're like, oh, someone's here, let's talk. Yeah, cool, let's talk and stuff. And what I was saying at the start, like, ladies, if you want to get the reassurance from your partner, like, the moment they get home from work is absolutely the wrong time, and it's a lot more likely to turn into a fight, because they will move into solution mode because it's too stressful and they don't want to be triggered. Okay, so it's like, hey, aren't you scared about money? Like, yeah, can I just fucking have a shower first, please? And it's like, oh, what, you don't want to talk to me? And it's like, give them fucking 20 minutes and the conversation will go a lot better. Get enthusiastic consent about the conversation. Like, is now a good time? I guess so. Like, nah, he's not in the, do you want to eat first? Like, yeah. And then like eating and then you talking is cool as well, because the dude's like, wants to say solutions, but his mouth's full, so he shuts the hell up and lets you finish, right? Then we can move into the reassurance section if there's been enough empathy and enough of that, and then we can move into problem solving if you want to move into problem solving, all right? So give him a minute when he gets home, get enthusiastic consent. For the dudes, when you're moving into problem solving mode, start thinking reassurance mode, okay? What is actually fine about this situation, what makes you bring the sentence down? It's fine. We've always just made it. There's always eventually enough money. You know, just overthinking it doesn't really help. But I'm listening. Let's listen. Yes. I know it's terrifying. I know it's frustrating. Oh my God. What's the point? I know. However, you win some, you lose some. See how it's like a blanket conceptual statement? Not like, okay, but like if blah, blah, blah. Because that's anxiety as well, right? If we're moving into too logical, oh yeah, but you know, we're going to blah, 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 blah. That will actually increase the anxiety of the person who wants reassurance by meeting them there and then continuing from there. So this is the really hard bit, is like letting them trigger you a bit to show empathy. But as I was saying, you've got the reassurance bit in your mind. Instead of the problem solving bit, you got the reassurance bit. Like, worst comes to worst, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. It'll be fine. May I offer some possible solutions, or you're not interested in that right now? I hope it helps. Message me as you always do. Love you.